We all want a hero. We scoop up comic books, we buy tickets to big blockbuster movies just to watch their adventures unfold before us. The internal battles they face, the external forces of evil kind of set out to destroy the world, and the compassion that they demonstrate for other people. Superheroes give us hope. They restore faith. They inspire us to become more than what we are. Success leaves clues, and the nature of superheroes is really no different. Look closer at your favorite hero, and you're going to see traits that many of them share. And these traits have nothing to do with having superpowers. They come from their character. They come from within themselves. And they can also be a lesson for you in your quest to get a better restaurant. See, it's the character of a leader that shapes the direction of a brand. Weak brands have weak leaders. It's that simple. So here are 5 lessons that superheroes can show you that you can harness today to get closer to having the business that you know it can be. Number 1, they know their values. Almost all superheroes kind of go through this crucible of internal conflict as they discover who they are and what they stand for. It's your core values that become your compass in life. To truly know your core values is a superpower that everyone can have. The sad thing is that most never use it. If someone were to ask you right now, what are some of your core values? Could you honestly answer? Not knowing your core values opens you up to be kind of tossed around like a boat in the ocean without a rudder. You're going to be at the mercy of the currents, and that's no way to live life to its fullest. It lacks meaning, it lacks direction, it lacks a moral compass. Plain and simple. See, you're most likely to see your kind of superhero go through what's kind of known as, commonly referred to in storytelling as the hero's journey. It's a classic tale of how, and they all have to go through it, unfortunately. So they're going along in life, just being themselves, when a great challenge kind of befalls them. The challenge causes them to really question themselves and to really question what they value. They struggle to find the answers before finally realizing that they had the answers all along inside them. See, once they know exactly who they are and what they stand for, they become an unstoppable force in the world. So what do you stand for? What values do you refuse to surrender? If you don't know, you need to know. See, knowing your core values becomes your superpower, and they will become your light and your compass during dark days and troubled times. Number 2, they focus on others. See, superheroes share a compassion for other people. The trait really, of course, is exploited by the villains in the stories who care nothing about others, but that's the balance of the world that kind of creates that yin and yang. We need both sides to survive and to thrive. Now, many times the superhero will even sacrifice themselves for the sake of another. Now, I'm not suggesting you go that far. However, if you want to take your restaurant to that kind of superhero status, you need a little bit more of we instead of me, and that'll go a long way with your team. One emotion that many leaders need to tap into is that of empathy. See, at the heart of the restaurant is the word hospitality, and the word itself comes from hospice. It's a Latin word that means host. So to be a true host is to be an empathetic person towards your guest. And we sometimes forget to extend the same courtesy to our team and our fellow coworkers. We work hard to develop our relationship with our guests, and yet we fail to develop relationships with our team. Relationships are how we relate to each other. It's called relatedness. They can also be, yes, a big challenge. And yes, they can also be frustrating. And yes, they are also intensely rewarding and deeply fulfilling. Now, it would be a lie if I said they were easy. However, most great things in life are not easy. So number 3, superheroes embrace their dark side. See, there's a duality in humans that all superheroes understand. We can't have good without understanding evil. You need to know both sides of nature in order to harness the powers that we have. That means knowing and also tapping into that dark side you have. Wait, I know. You're saying, wait, you don't think you have a dark side? Trust me, everyone has a dark side. Even if you don't want to admit it, it's there deep inside you. Now, sometimes it manifests itself into behavior that you kind of excuse as well. Oh, that wasn't me. I'm sorry, I was acting out of character. No, and it maybe could be that voice in your head that just seductively tells you just to do it. But make no mistake about it, you do have a dark side. It's those that, that keep their deep secrets inside you. That's your dark side. It knows those things that you crave that you don't tell anybody else about. And now it doesn't have to be evil per se. It's that hidden part of you that is based more on raw instinct than logic. Now, superheroes harness this dark side to tap into energy levels that they know they normally could not access. To accept your duality unifies your personality into a solid character. So you're either control of your dark side or it controls you. Now, surely you've seen people who seem impulsive and reckless. See, that's their dark side running wild and wreaking havoc in their life. Number 4, superheroes fight to win. There's a difference when you fight to win, just over to fight to hold on to what you have. See, one takes risk and the other makes a safe play. You are never, ever going to get the restaurant you want playing it safe. Superheroes know the high stakes involved when they do battle with the forces of evil. Now, you have evil right now lurking in your restaurant, and it takes the form of complacency and mediocrity. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. It's hiding in there in the shadows of poor training and lack of standards. And it's apparent when you don't speak up on something you know is not right. See, when mediocrity creeps into your restaurant, you have to approach it head on and be dedicated to winning the fight. Now, many are not prepared to go the distance and do what is needed to be done. You're going to need to channel your inner superhero in this situation and fight to win against mediocrity. And the 5th thing is, superheroes love a challenge. For a superhero, the bigger the challenge, the better they become. See, it's the challenge where the growth lies. The evolution of the human race was built on adaptation. Outstanding restaurants also carry that same trait. They adapt and they evolve as the market changes. Now, you have to, or risk become obsolete. It's natural law. This isn't like just some kind of random thing. It's natural law. If you haven't noticed, there is an economic storm coming down upon the restaurant industry right now. Intense competition for market share and staffing are just the beginning. Many kind of niche markets, there are going to be great opportunities a few years ago that are now becoming oversaturated. It's a virtual red ocean for many, and as they get drawn into price wars, discounts, and higher hourly wages, it's going to become a real battle. Your challenge is not in competing, but instead standing out. Don't get drawn into what others are doing. Explore creative areas that build value and loyalty to your guests and your team. For years, see, the big buzzword was the guest experience, or the GX. Now, as the industry transforms, you're going to need to focus a lot more on what they call as the team experience, or the TX. Building the culture, creating an atmosphere that turns your team into brand advocates is the best way to stand out. Every restaurant in your market has access to the same products, same marketing tools, same labor pool. But what separates the good from the outstanding is their culture. It's the one thing others can't copy. Now, they can have the same menu items and even the same decor, but see, it's your culture that makes a difference. Superheroes understand that culture elevates people to become their best by setting the example in their daily actions. Superheroes are true leaders in every sense of the word. They live their values, they focus on others, they embrace their dark side, they fight to win, and they rise to the challenges that life throws at them. The restaurant industry needs more true leaders. We need more superheroes to step up and fight the battle against mediocrity. Are you ready to join the fight?